Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm going to be, I thought this might be fun. I recently acquired a Microtech Scarab 2. It's the real thing, and I'm really excited about it. I like these. These are big, robust, powerful. They fire super hard. As I mentioned in the unboxing and when I did the review on this knife a long time ago, I reviewed somebody else's that sent it in for review. That's actually how I decided I wanted one. I remember learning that, I knew this from a while back. The original Scarab had 2 springs in it. The very first few of these, which were either made in very late 2019 or maybe early 2020, I can't really remember, they had 2 springs. And then at some point, they decided to not do that, and moving forward, they decided to do one very robust spring, that's how it is up till now. This one was made, if you can see right here, it was made December, does it say it? Yeah, right there. 12 of 2020. So I don't actually know. In any case, I feel like some people might like to see the inside of a Scarab. And now that the Scarab has Torx screws, I should be able to do that today. So I'm going to take this apart unedited. I'm not going to take it completely apart. I know that some people, on my channel and some people who have no idea who I am and they were just searching Scarab Disassembly, you're going to want me to take it completely apart. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take the front plate off, and I want to see what it looks like on the inside. And this will give people a general idea of how easy it is to take apart the Scarab 2, at least the initial stage of it. That's all I'm comfortable doing. Because honestly, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess anything up. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon down in the description. And please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. All right, here we go. So we've got a T8 bit right there. And I'm going to guess that it's probably a good idea to have that in the closed position. So let's go ahead and take these out. Okay, so it doesn't appear that there's any type of, there's probably a little bit of Loctite on these screws, but nothing insane. Let's take a look there. No, it doesn't really seem like there's anything. I kind of appreciate that, honestly. I kind of, it's like if I want to put Loctite on the screws, then I can make that choice myself. It looks like this is all going to come off fairly easily. Normally, I leave the disassembly videos to Nick. Nick, if you guys like to watch knives being disassembled, and you don't know, I would imagine if you're watching this channel, you already know. But Nick Shabazz disassembles everything, just about everything that he reviews. And so there's 2 reasons I don't do disassemblies normally. Unless it's, I'll modify a hinderer, right? No problem. But number 1, I'm nowhere near as confident. Nick has taken apart hundreds and hundreds of knives, right? I'm just not as confident. That one seemed to have a little bit of Loctite on it. Yeah, a little bit. No big deal. Blue Loctite, 242. Anyways, and I'm not nearly as confident. And number 2, that's kind of his. I'm not saying nobody else can do disassemblies, but he's a great source for that stuff, right? There's no reason. You guys come here for unboxings and reviews, right? Nick does the reviews. He does the disassemblies, right? It's another reason to go check him out. So yeah, but Nick does not do a lot of automatic knives. So I thought maybe it's not like this video is the only video of a Scarab 2 being taken apart on YouTube either. Okay, I can feel it wanting to come off of there. I'm really hoping, I've had a bad luck here lately with taking some knives apart and taking the plate off and a spring goes flying off in some random direction. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen here today. All right, I can definitely, yeah, that plate's wanting to come off nicely. Oh, that was wonderfully easy. So there you go, guys. That's the spring on the inside. And you can see here this switch is wanting to just come up right off like that, and there's a little spring underneath the switch. So you guys are probably wondering, what is all that goop on the spring? That's that sound deadening goop that they put on there. If you guys, ever owned an OTF and you fire it, for those of you who own a Lightning OTF, when you fire it, it goes twang, right? OTFs will do that unless they have this sort of sound deadening goop on the spring, right? So that's what that is. It's not like this is a problem. It's not like this is corrosion or anything like that. They put this stuff intentionally on the spring. So that's what the inside of it looks like. Now, anybody who wants to, mess with that further, you're obviously going to have to remove the latch there, and then you can pull this little latch over here. I mean, like you literally lift up on this and the spring comes off. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to. I really wanted to find out if this was one of the newer ones or if it had the twin springs. If you're wondering, is there a problem with one or the other? No. Whether you have the twin spring version of this or you have this newer single spring version, either way, it's fine. It will, both of them are going to fire with equal power. That's what I've heard anyway. So that's about it. I think maybe it might be a good idea to just put it back together and prove that it will continue to operate the way that it's supposed to. So this is dramatically more robust, though, than any other OTF that I have ever. I've definitely taken apart other OTFs before, and this is easily the most robust OTF. We get that? There we go. We get it right there because I want it to stay. Let's see if we can. So I'm not really overly concerned with any. I just want all the parts to fit back together correctly. But I'm going to EDC this. That was the plan from the beginning. I mean, that was this. If you guys are wondering, I bought this on the secondary market. Well, that's just beautifully simple. So there's just real quick before I talk about where I got this. Like I've always, warned people against taking apart automatic knives because there are a lot of moving parts. Anything that's got more moving parts, right? It does create some problems during disassembly. You could lose a part, right? Or something could not fit back together exactly right. And then when you go to fire it, it might not work, right? But these are definitely simpler than I've given them credit for in the past. And when I say the past, it's like from like a year and a half ago when I was warning people against taking apart any OTF knives. You should always check the warranty first. I don't think Microtech really wants you to take their knives apart, right? Now, if something gets messed up because of my disassembly, I'm sitting here thinking, number one, I didn't check, and number two, even without checking, I'm pretty sure they don't want me to do this, right? It's nice of them to include the Torx screws. It's like we don't really, and I don't know that. Maybe this is totally fine what I'm doing right here, right? Either way, though, it's nice of them to go if this is the case, right? If the case is that they don't want you to take it apart, it's nice of them to go, we don't really want you to do that, but if you're gonna, we'll at least make it easy on you and give you the Torx screws. That was a nice move from Microtech, because those tri-wings, on my I've got that on my Combat Troodon, and yeah, I can't take it apart without buying the tool, right? I mean, I'm sure you could make something, but I don't want to mess up those screws. Anyways, yeah, I bought this on the secondary market from a guy who made me a good deal because there was a teeny tiny little scuff on it. I'll show you that to you guys here in a sec. He got me a great deal. Really nice guy, right? It was a fair deal, right? Right here. There's a little. I don't care about that. Everything else is just perfect. Blades perfect. Cutting edge is perfect, right? So I honestly don't care if I get. And people are going to roll their eyes and be like, why would anyone care anyway? It's a knife. You're going to use it. Listen, the higher the price of the knife, right, more likely you are to baby it. Just look how these screws are very robust, by the way. I just love that. I love the large fasteners. I think that's super cool. The more likely you are to be a little bit reserved with it. And I'm not saying I'm going to go out and like try to pry the flatbed off of a 1-ton pickup or anything with this knife, right? All right, here we go. Yeah, it's fine. That was really easy. I mean, I know that people are like, you didn't take it all the way apart. You just took the front plate off of it. Well, yeah, I didn't want this to be a super long video, but yeah, I plan to use this. So, I put a little tiny bit of lubricant on it. What you should be using, I believe, is a dry lubricant like Rem Oil. The Teflon-based stuff, I think that's what they recommend. I put a teeny tiny little bit of lubricant on it that is not exactly that, but I think it'll be just fine. If you're using a wet lubricant, it's important to remember that stuff attracts lint and gunk and stuff that's going to be in your pocket And since this blade is sliding in and out, stuff that's wet, if you like what you don't want to do is soak the blade or pour a ton of lubricant in there. Don't do that because it'll attract a bunch of gunk and it'll slow everything down, right? If you don't have the dry lubricant, just a little teeny tiny bit is okay. It's good for the blade, right? And it'll minimize the amount of gunk that gets in there. But the dry stuff will do the job. It'll keep the internals healthy as far as I understand, right? I mean, obviously, go to Microtech's website or call them and find out exactly what they recommend. But I remember that being the case in the past when I had my first combat Troodon from 2014, right? But yeah, you don't want to over lubricate this. It's the same thing with any knife. You don't need that much. That was really simple and everything is firing and working just fine. So the funny thing is, the reason I like this knife so much, and I've already reviewed it, but if you're wondering, you know, why that? Why spend so much money on that? These new, you know, they've got a heavy competitor right now, Guardian Tactical, and one of the biggest reasons to pick up a Guardian Tactical is because the firing switch rides on a steel plate and it's got bearings underneath, so it's super easy to actuate. I've never had a huge problem with deploying Microtechs, but a lot of people do. They're definitely tighter here. They definitely have it takes a little bit more force. But you know, despite the fact that I think for a double action OTF, the Scarab 2 fires harder than any other OTF that double action OTF that I've ever handled, right? So you'd think that massive tension would cause a problem. Because the firing switch is so wide, it's actually really easy to get traction on it. So it fires really hard, but it's also easier to fire. Honestly, it feels a little bit easier to fire than like the Ultratech. It's definitely a little bit easier to fire than my Combat Troodon, right? But yeah, so there you go. So I guess this is one of the newer ones, or with the newer spring setup. I'm fine with that. I'm looking forward to EDCing this and just enjoying it. Thanks again to the gentleman who sent it to me, which I've actually got his note right here. It was Matt. I appreciate you selling this to me and making a good deal on it. I hope you guys got what you wanted out of this video. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of people like, dude, I wanted a full disassembly and you didn't do it. Sorry. I said it right at the beginning. I'm not doing a full disassembly. So anyways, that's it. Just wanted to share this with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got what you wanted out of it. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.